All right, guys, for our next card, we're going to take, and we need this beautiful piece of printed paper, and we're going to cut that right down the middle in half and form two 3x6-inch pieces. So just cut that at 3 inches. And then we're going to take each half and create with it. So the first thing we're going to do is one of these halves we're going to use to just make a very simple card. So I'm going to fold this in half, my white card base, my thick white card base, and I'm going to give it a good crease. And I'll take and adhere this to the side like so. I'm not going to adhere it quite yet, but what I wanted to point out is that I will trim this off so that it lines up with my card. But first of all, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm using the sentiment Thanks from the set Here's a Card. And this is another great set that's got lots of sentiments in it. So I'm using this little thanks right here. And I'm just going to stamp this in Seaside Spray, up here at the top in that sky portion. And isn't that, this is just so pretty. I will then add a little bow of my white baker's twine. I love white baker's twine because it just adds a nice little touch to things. It's skinny, it's inexpensive, and it doesn't create bulk in your card, which is always great when you go to mail things. So I like that. I also die cut a white deer, and we're going to add that to our card as well. And honestly, I think you could do that with lots of different patterns in your printed paper pack, which would be super cute. I'm just trying to get my bow to do what I want, and it's not cooperating. There, that's better. Okay, so I'll go ahead and adhere that. Look at that beautiful pattern on the back. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to adhere this, leaving a little border of white on the one side. And then we'll trim this off. Okay, now to finish this off, I mentioned I've got my deer. So when you cut the deer out, it's kind of sitting on a snowbank, but we don't want to put that on our card because that will look just a little goofy. And I think the deer will kind of meld into the background just a little better like this. So I'll just take him off, and we've got some mini dimensionals. These work great for popping him up. They fit right under his butt, just right. So that's good. Let's see if I can get one more up here. And it doesn't even show through. Yay. All right, so we'll just take and put him right about there. Now I can also add a few more embellishments by taking my little sequins, and take your pick tool is really good for this. And I'm just going to add a couple of drops of glue, excuse me, on here, like so. And then I can take these sequins, or I can take sequins, or I can take snowflakes, whatever floats your boat. And I'm just going to set them in that glue, and then they'll dry nicely. Like so. Okay, isn't that cute? So this is a great thank you card for after the holidays, but it's also a great just general winter thank you. Now for our alternative version, I've gone ahead and die cut my snow globe out of the center. And I'm going to take the other half of that printed paper, which is right here, and I'll trim this down a little, but I'm going to place it in my snow globe section, kind of like that. And this time I want to use my window sheet rather than the snow globe, just to keep this a nice flat card. Okay, so I'll take that window sheet and I'm going to just adhere it to the back side of the card. Now, I recommend doing this with snail. So I'm just going to run a little bit of snail at the top and the bottom. And it's not critical in this case if it's, you know, completely sealed or not, because we're not doing much with this other than covering it up. Okay. And then the other thing that I want to do is I'm going to adhere the trees that I have die cut out of the vellum scrap that you've got in your kit. And once again, I'll take and put some snail along that bottom edge. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just have it kind of peeking up from the bottom of my snow globe. Okay, so that looks cool. And last but not least, we're going to cover all this business up with our printed paper panel. Okay, so we want to position it where we like it. Okay, and then cover everything up. So I'm just going to put some snail on there like that. But we got to put it in straight. Okay, and there are our trees. So that looks lovely. And then one more thing I need to do, and that is die cut out of one of my patterns of paper, the base for my snow globe. And I think what I want to do is use one of these patterns, but I could also use one of these patterns. I could even use, well, I'm going to use one of I might use this pattern. This might be kind of cool. So you can mix and match those. I'll die cut one and be right back. Okay, I die cut my base, but then I realized that I did something wrong. And that was I wanted to pop this layer up on the back. And so I kept looking at it going, this is not right. So what I'm going to do is take and put some dimensionals across here. And actually, this is a great way to use up your kind of edge pieces. So I'm just going to kind of cover some of that adhesive that I put on there. And then I'm going to put another layer right here. And then I just really want to hold that paper up in place. And then we'll just put a strip across there and another one here at the bottom. Okay, because what we need to do is create a little space for dimension in here. And there we go. I'm like, why? It was so smushed. So now there's a little room, a gap in there. So I think that looks better. All right, we're also going to add this. Now here's where you could really have some fun. You could sponge some color onto this and get a different look. So let me show you what I mean by that. One of the things that's great about this beautiful metallic print is that you can add color to it. So I'm going to take one of my makeup brushes. You've seen me use these before. And I'll take my Seaside Spray ink. And I'm just going to color right on here. You could also use a little bit of purple posy in here because that's all going to coordinate with that printed paper that we've got in the background. But when you add just a little bit of color to this, now when we add it to the snow globe, it looks even cooler. Okay, so we'll pop this one up as well. And we'll add yet another bow of our white baker's twine. Of course, oh my gosh, I seriously was looking for it all over and it was right there. And this is something you can color too. You can take your white baker's twine and color it much in the same way. I'm not going to do that, but like you can dye it with a re-inker or you can just add it. It's up to you. We'll take and kind of roll up a glue dot and just stick that on here like so. Super cute. All right, now for this one, we'll do our season's greetings again. But I think I'm going to actually do it on the inside of my card. All right, so just need to clean this off. And I keep losing my chamois. Okay, so I'll ink this up like that. And then I'm also going to add the sentiment that goes with this on the inside. So this is really nice. Also, may the timeless message of Christmas fill your heart and home with the joy today and always. So nice. So isn't that pretty?